And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons.
Including this warm reunion with the future head of the Church of England.
Good man, this one.
This moment.
This is insane.
Prince Charles is the main heir of Count Dracula. Prince Charles, Count Dracula, and he lives with a group of homeless children in it.
Okay.
He's a Transylvanian
According
prince.
to this Google search from express.co.uk, Prince Charles has distant kinship to Vlad Tepes, the 15th century Wakalian ruler, whom the
President Macron hopes will not only be an architectural but a geopolitical renaissance. What better reminder to Donald Trump that France is America's oldest ally than placing him at the center of Notre Dame's reopening during a time of war.
It was quite a night tonight in Paris with this ritual at the Notre Dame Cathedral done by the Roman Catholic Church after the Notre Dame Cathedral burnt down in the last few years. And then we had this so-called rebirth ritual of the cathedral. Notre Dame meaning Our Lady, of course. So this heavily focused on the Queen of Heaven, Semiramis, the false goddess of Babylon. And honestly, there's some parts of this is just really strange and eerie at times, and I think it's worth drawing attention to this. There's a lot of stuff in this about ushering in what seems to me, at least in my opinion, seems to be about the ushering in of a new era, new age, golden age, a lot of that kind of symbolism, and of course Rome. You know, the statue in the Book of Daniel, which many believe is the Holy Roman Empire. This is a very Rome-centered ritual. Message from Pope Francis at this event that's read out at the event, and he's talking about the cultures and religions coming together as one, like this one world religion message from Pope Francis. And it's very strange. It's like the front of the Notre Dame Cathedral, which is translated to Our Lady. You know, it's all about the Mother Goddess, the Queen of Heaven, Semiramis. You know, the Our Lady, and it's lit up in gold, as you'll see soon here. So he does this strange ritualistic thing here, and he has the fish mitre hat on. And, you know, bangs on the door 3 times. 3 times for 3 times. As he goes up to the door here, and it begins to be lit up in gold. And when he hits the door 3 times, you know, you see these waves going out. These golden waves coming up from very Babylonian in terms of the Babylonian religion and the symbolism going back to Babylon and the sun god with Nimrod. Semiramis, the counterfeit of the millennial reign and the golden age and things like that. You see here, so they focus on the organ, puts the Babylonian fish mitre hat on. This organ reawakening, as they call it, the reawakening of this organ after the fire, is very chaotic, and the sound is very discordian, and Yeah, the moon goddess. You see the false goddess in this. Listen to this. I mean, I don't even know. That's not normal, right? That's not musical. It's like this discord, this chaotic, frantic organ. It doesn't sound normal. So they're coming down the checkered floor, down the aisle with this chaotic sound. Look at that spinning round. Again, this discord. It's like the sound of the bells of Notre Dame conflicting with the sound of the organ. To me, there's lots of themes of the Golden Age here. The New Dawn, the counterfeit return to Eden, perhaps. The sun god of Rome. Rome 2.0, the Holy Roman Empire. The New World, the counterfeit of the Antichrist. So remember the false god of Babylon, the sun god. It just doesn't seem, to me, this just does not seem to be about the revived Roman Empire, perhaps. And, you know, the whore of Babylon, perhaps, in Revelation. You know, this counterfeit new world, return to Eden, which is a copy of the millennial reign of Christ, but it's just the new age of Antichrist. And of course, Pope Francis talking about the world coming together, essentially. Religions, cultures coming together as one.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Nations headquarters, which was built in 1945 and financed largely by John D. Rockefeller. Inside UN headquarters is an ominous meditation room. The custodian of the meditation room is Lucis Trust Company. It's located at 666 United Nations Plaza and was formerly named Lucifer Publishing Company. The Rockefeller-funded UN meditation room is 33 feet long and 18 feet wide. 18 feet is 6 plus 6 plus 6. Not far from the meditation room is the United Nations Security Council chamber. This is the emergency room of the UN, where the world leaders meet when there is a threat to peace. They decide the fate of nations. Even though Israel has over 200 uninspected nuclear weapons and has violated dozens of resolutions, no sanctions are ever imposed because of the United States veto powers. The central focus of the UN mural is the phoenix bird that has risen. The phoenix bird is a symbol of Lucifer. Egyptians believed that the phoenix symbolized a god who rose to heaven in the form of a morning star like Lucifer after his fire immolation of death and rebirth. Notice that the phoenix bird is not standing above his own ashes. He is standing above his old skin. Like a snake, he has shed his old skin and is revealing himself as God at the center of the mural. At the top left, there is a church steeple without a cross. The missing cross symbolizes the death of Christianity. Below, a woman receives the rays of the sun god, while the man in front of her plays Pan's flute. To their right are two pyramid symbols and people joined together by a long blue serpent-like claw. Below the risen phoenix, a sword is driven through a dragon beast. This represents the killing of old beliefs and religions that depicted Lucifer as a beast. The New World religion worships him as beautiful. Behind the phoenix, the ghostly figures of the walking dead are stepping into a void. They symbolize depopulation. On the right panel, the pale horse from the book of Revelation is the bringer of death to humanity through weapons, hunger, and disease. The man is releasing him. In this post-apocalyptic mural, the military man standing on the tail of the beast represents worldwide military power. He tips his helmet to the elite, who are climbing out from underground cities where they safely hid from the apocalypse. In the main oval panel above the phoenix bird, a woman is holding flowers. She is the bride in a wedding ceremony. Who are these newlyweds that are kneeling submissively beneath the serpent in the overhead tree? Could the newlyweds symbolize William and Kate? The serpent in human form is tempting the little girl Eve, who accepts the apple. On the right side of the top panel, a reptilian green creature with scaly skin is dancing with a naked woman, while musicians entertain him. The general message of the UN's Phoenix Rising mural is that humanity is stepping into a new Luciferic reality. Beneath this disturbingly prophetic mural, world leaders make global decisions that affect the lives of nearly 7 billion people. What's hard for most people to grasp is that our elected government leaders are involved in an apocalyptic scheme to enslave the masses under a world government dictatorship.
The French people marveled at their cherished monument, its near 1,000 years of history and
For all intents and purposes, it felt like Donald Trump was already back in the office today, the Oval Office today, given the gravity of his arrival here. Presidents Macron and Zelensky trying to convince him to continue their war with Ukraine against Russia and Vladimir Putin. One Donald Trump has promised to end immediately after his inauguration next month.
Benefit from your commitment to Jesuit principles. As a graduate of another great Jesuit institution, Xavier University, I have great affection for the value and purpose of a Jesuit education.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into the Drag Queen Story Hour.
This one is called Worm Loves Worm.
Talking, singing, and reading.
We can both be grooms.
To an audience of preschoolers, toddlers, and their caregivers.
Hitler implemented? Who knows the first two laws? Before the Nuremberg laws. Before that, we're talking about years before it. Hitler first comes into power. What's the first two laws? Okay, I'll save you the time. Rule number 1. No more pornography. No more homosexuality. None of that garbage. Not allowed. Berlin, in the 30s, in the 20s, was the Sodom and Gomorrah of the day. Homosexuality, pornography, all the bestiality, all the garbage of the world, that was the capital of the world. He outlawed it. You're no longer allowed, closed all the bars, all the gay clubs, all the production, which were all run by Jewish people. Unfortunately. Second rule, you're not allowed to charge interest. No more interest. Now you would think, why? What does he care about interest? Well, because all the people that had the money, that lent the money out, were Jews. So he said no more interest. Why? Because of the high interest that the Jews charged people was so high, it ruined, it destroyed the economy in Germany. They destroyed, just like they destroyed Russia a few years before that through their communism over there. Jews destroyed Russia, not Goyim. Jews destroyed. Communism is by Jews. Well, don't let anybody confuse you. You look at history, Karl Marx, all the other Reshaim, they're all Jews. When the store to buy bread, you had to take a whole horse carriage full of money. By the time you arrive at the store, it wasn't enough. Why? Because the inflation rate was so high. The bread became so much more valuable and your money went down. And at that time, the Great Depression was happening around the entire world. Everyone was in a financial collapse. America was a financial collapse. England was a financial collapse. Germany collapsed worse than everybody else. But after he passed this law, within 6 years, Germany became the leading, wealthiest economy in the world. They called it a financial miracle. Why? They were the only ones that were bold enough to stop interest. This is one of the biggest reasons of why he hated Jews. Because they destroyed the economy because of their greed. This is happening again.